This is going to be the recap for June 2026. So I usually go over some important reflective questions to kind of put things into perspective and summarize some of the important goals that I said. Did I make progress towards achieving those goals, and what can I work on and improve on as we go into July? So the first category that I want to talk about is going to be finances. So when it comes to money, what did I spend the most on, and was it worth it? So this is one of the important reflective questions that I usually ask myself. And I spend a lot of money when it comes to maintaining and probably investing in my car. So I ordered a lot of parts that's kind of required to kind of fix it. And, I got my car back in last year in November. It has a very good well maintenance history when you look at Carfax and stuff. So I just basically want to continue, using it for the next several years to come. And there are some important repairs I need to get done. And I ordered those parts. One of my goals that I had going into July, going into June was to actually go and talk to a mechanic and get like a quote and what I should be ordering or what I should be getting, in order to fix the car, to maintain it. Some of the important parts like the TV axle that I got, the rack and pinion, the rotors, and etc. And I ordered those parts, so it's definitely one of those things that I kind of like. I put some substantial amount of finance into towards that, and also just usually just invested and all dude. I did all the important things that's kind of required to kind of make the future self pretty awesome. My future to be pretty cool. So I'm kind of happy about that. Did I save and invest? I definitely did. I did a really good job at that. And did I stick to the plan? Yes, I did stick to my budget that I kind of set up, and I basically had to spend more money because I wanted to maintain my car and things like that. So that is definitely pretty good. What money habit should I keep or fix? Just keep continue to invest. And another important thing that I'm gonna need to work on, and I set some goals and some action plans as I go into July, is that like I want to generate some incomes out of my second channel. I did post a few shorts to kind of test the waters, and I'm going to try to continue, and I will continue and post to kind of get to the threshold of actually getting like a payout from the other channel. I'm getting close to that, so going into July, that's going to be something I'm definitely going to be working on. So I also did for I'm going to talk about it later on for entertainment purposes. But anyway, the inner life and just the personal stuff. So did I feel calm and connected this month? I definitely did, especially when I learned about like coconut versus peach culture. That is a really important thing that I kind of had a very great insights, and I reflected about that and how some of the interactions I had in the past, especially when it comes to people. And I kind of, went through the lenses of like how, people behave in different cultures, and it kind of gave me like a very good perspective about that. And I'm like, dude, that's pretty awesome. Now I have a very good understanding about why certain people behave certain ways, and it was pretty awesome. So I'm kind of grateful for discovering that. So that's pretty nice. So what helped me feel peaceful, what helped me feel peaceful, just to have just better understanding of how people think and my interactions I had in the past, and continuing in the future when I have interactions with people, how they behave is definitely dependent upon like how they grew up and things like that. So definitely give me some pretty good perspective, and yeah, have some closure to some interesting things that happened in the past. So that was something that's definitely kept me at peace into realizing that. So that was pretty good. So what did I learn about letting go or trusting? So as I said, I think like more overall, since I have a better understanding, I definitely can, see how trust also affects people. How not to trust some certain people and what to trust on certain people. Trust is something I really kind of have some pretty good impact on it, like some pretty important thing that I kind of like value in some kind of way. So I definitely, now since I have this understanding, it's definitely gonna help me out in the future. So another important thing is just like, yeah, another thing is really personal. Everyone just looks or does what is best for them, and I definitely respect that, and I definitely will try to do, and I definitely do what's best for me, and in every interaction and kind of outreach and anything like that when I contact people, when I try to do some kind of like meetups and things like that. So I definitely, take into account that, okay, like what can I help them or what can I benefit for me? So to kind of get into that win-win situation so we can kind of both benefit. And it's kind of cool. Like if they kind of accept it, that's great. But if not, that's one of some important goals that I also have, which is kind of like to experience kind of like, I wouldn't call it like a rejection, but it's like, okay, like they want to, they don't want to. So it's kind of like, yeah, so it's not a big deal, So it could be like a rejection, I guess in a way. So that is something really nice. Another thing is like, how can I take better care of myself next month? So to just continuously, do the routine that I have, just like exercising, just I really had a lot of fun just like going to the park. I mean, going to like, yeah, just going to the lake and just sitting out like, underneath the trees, like watching the water, just like, looking at the freaking ducks and just reflective. And the weather is kind of hot right now in the summer. So it's pretty awesome. Just like sit there, after the sun sets and just, feel the wind just blow through, just feeling it on my skin, just sitting at night, like looking at the moon and stuff. Like I had some really phenomenal time, to be honest. Like, and you're like, that was some great time that I spent. Like that was pretty awesome. So that was pretty good. I definitely would continue to do those things. So just sit there and just like, hey, just enjoy the moment. Like life is there, and I'm kind of happy, and I'm in a great spot, and be grateful, reflective, and just just respect the environment and the awesome thing that's happening. So and every day, that's awesome. Just keep my routine, add a new health goal like sleep and eat better too. I definitely want to work on, of course, like when I talk about the goals that I'm going to be setting for July, I'm going to be working out and try to build more muscle and try to add more muscle mass. That's something I definitely want to consider doing. Sleep better. I definitely made investments this month too. This is one of those investments that I made, which is like to improve my sleep. I bought some comforters and sheets that are definitely designed to kind of make me cool and stuff. So I'm using it and I kind of like it. And I also did some kind of good moves to kind of save money on that, air conditioning, things like that. So that is something I'm definitely made some awesome moves on. So pretty awesome. So now let's move on to work and some career. What am I proud of about work? I definitely did post, I'm on my business side. I definitely, try to get the other channel going. I did post a reaction, to kind of see like how I can engage in through it. I definitely will continue to do those things like as we go into July. I did take some steps to kind of manage the light bill. That could be included in the finances section. What challenge helped me grow? What challenge definitely is just to kind of like anticipate things, because like last year there's some issues with the lights and I mean like with the AC and stuff, so I kind of made a move like last year to kind of prepare for this summer, so when the thing kind of happens I already got like all the backup stuff that I did. But of course, I'm moving forward, I definitely have to come up with a solution about this situation. Right now it's kind of working pretty good, but I definitely need to come up with that moving forward. So did I use my time well? I did as much as I can, but I definitely need to work on it, of course. Like at work, I definitely have to work on some other important things. I'm definitely gonna try to maximize it and utilize it. At home, definitely when I work and stuff, to do those reactions and things like that, I can definitely will work on improving those things. But on June, did I do that? Like I could have done some other important things like way better. So I definitely need more work on that. So now let's move on to personal life and health. Like, did I take care of my body and mind? Yes, I did. I improved on my sleep schedule. I definitely reduced the screen time, so that's fantastic. I have I track the data and I'm looking at the progress that I made. I'm very proud of myself about that. Who or what made me happy? Definitely just playing tennis. I think in June, yeah, definitely played like with the Jasper guy. Recorded it. That was pretty awesome. I had a lot of fun. And since I definitely had like the understanding of like how the beach and coconut culture kind of like works, now I kind of don't have that kind of like, okay, like get a good read on it and being like, okay, cool, cool, cool. Some with the interactions, I'm kind of like, cool, man. Like it just completely shifts like the important things that I need to do, when it comes to my behavior, when it comes to interaction with people. So that's really fantastic insight that I got. I already talked about that, but I just need to mention it again because it's really, really massive. So who or what made me happy? Yeah, just playing tennis, just sitting, reflecting at at the lake and stuff. That was really awesome. Just felt like just the peace and just enjoying like the wind and just the weather. It's really fantastic. Yeah. Did I show up for the people I care about? Yeah, definitely. I definitely, just help with family members and talk and etc. So that's definitely pretty cool. I definitely did that. What habits should I keep or, not do? Keep enjoying the moment and just continue to work on their habits, keep the routine, and, just do some coloring, like reading and, exercising. It definitely helps, like sleep, which is definitely important. So I'll just continue to do those things. And yeah, things overall is going to be pretty awesome. So some just summarizes some important things overall. What am I most proud of? I'm definitely the amazing progress. I'm proud of like the amazing progress that I made understanding cultures and all that. Thanks to TikTok and all the other World Cup interactions that we got, and I definitely get to enjoy the World Cup. Of course, I went to a few games. That was really fantastic. I went and watched Croatia versus England. That was fantastic, and that was a fantastic experience. I went there, and the way that I figured all out, all this, how to talk, like, I just picked up everything and stuff like that was fantastic. And yeah, just blessed to take it in, take into account and communicate and do all those important things that I kind of put me out to go there and enjoy it. So that was pretty awesome. What did I learn? So I learned a lot about cultures. I learned about peach and coconuts, spending money on the right things to help improve my life. Definitely not just like saving money, but actually utilizing it and using it as a tool to improve life, because that's just like the purpose of it, just to kind of improve my life, just get better. And instead of just like just saving it and not just using it, I might as well just, I'm definitely going to be using it to kind of enjoy life and make life more simple. That's the goal that I kind of have, also the mantra. Using it instead. So how did I grow? So I grew a lot in understanding human behavior, opened my eyes, and had a lot of great experience attending the World Cup and also communicating at work. There are some kind of mistakes I kind of made, especially when it comes to like calling out for work, and I definitely admitted it. That's something I just definitely also made a massive progress like this month too. It's just like to be okay. Like I think to be okay to make a mistake of okay, like people don't people are not perfect. One of the important things that I kind of learned about like from playing tennis too is that like even from Roger Federer when he talks about like hey nobody's kind of like perfect. You don't have to be perfect like to win. There are some kind of mistakes even in tennis that you make that are kind of like maybe simple shots or unforced errors, double faults, and etc. Those things happen, but those things don't stop you or don't stop me from like winning. Those things might happen here and there, but you just move on and just continue to show up and perform, and then eventually you get to the end line. You just like with driving with the GPS, you make a wrong turn. That does not mean like the trip is over. It will redirect with a new path. So it's kind of like the same thing too here. That I kind of learned. Just like, hey, just gonna make a mistake. Just talk about it and just admitting it to like, hey, I'm doing a mistake. So I was like, okay, cool. Then that it's okay. Like they kind of do those things, and other people also when they make mistakes and stuff like that, like it kind of happen. Try to get better, also communicate that. That's something that's pretty awesome too. So to learn too so in the future. So what felt out of balance, the work I could do at home with AC. That's something that's not like off balance, but I definitely try to figure that out a little bit by cutting it off and seeing what I can possibly do. Like in July, describe this month in one sentence. Probably again, enjoy, insightful and enjoyable, and pretty made massive understanding of human behavior. So that was pretty awesome. Now let's go over to some of the goals that I kind of have going into July. I definitely also worked out like for the health part, like last month. Let's go over some of the goals. Like, I definitely read. I read a few pages and stuff. That was pretty good. Workout once a week, 4 times. I did work out 2 times. So that's now let's go over the goals for June goals. Let's see the health part. Read, decrease screen time, coloring. I definitely did that for show. a show. Let me see. Let me click on it. Dun, 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 dun. Decrease screen time, coloring if I needed to. Yeah, I definitely did that. Read the books. Yeah, I definitely want to continue doing that. Work out at least a week. I did do that, but I did not do 4 times. I did 2 times. I did not play golf. I did make some kind of contacts. I learned a lot about that too. That made me a great insight. That's fantastic. Tennis, pickleball, chess. I definitely do those things. Generating income on the second channel. I definitely posted, made progress with that post reaction videos. Test the waters. I definitely did that one. I did not hit the threshold, but I'm gonna move forward. I'm definitely trying to hit the threshold in July. Be more productive at home. Post videos from YouTube. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I did not do that, but I did make videos, but the majority of the stuff that I made was like in the office, so that's definitely important. So sponsor videos on IT, I did not do that, but I definitely had to have some goals going into July about that. Entertainment, I definitely tend to work up. I did make some cool videos about that. The Apprentice, I definitely watched and finished some seasons, and it was pretty fun. Car, yeah, by the paint, I definitely bought that. Visa vehicle, I definitely did that for quote, so that's pretty cool. So going into July, we got workout twice a week. I definitely did that one at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the month. African girls, definitely trying to build some muscle and also improve on the diets, reduce screen time. Doing a fantastic job with that. I'm just gonna continue doing it. Tennis, based on the matches that I played, I definitely want to improve my serve and my forehand. I'm definitely gonna work on that one. Golf, work on my driver and clubs, I guess. Well, I forgot the other part. Pickleball, yes, social activity, chess, do some lessons, YouTube, post consistently shorts, plus hit the $100 goal, post one video, comment, search sponsor to request transfer casino funds. Yeah, for car, I definitely gonna be doing that one. Make a vlog for the World Cup for second channel. Definitely gonna try to do that. Entertainment for World Cup attend, of course, the semifinals. It's gonna be the last event, the last game in July. Already went to Portugal and Spain match, book, finish AI systems, coloring, reflecting our rich and over there. Finish car maintenance, CV axle, rack and pinion rotors. So that's gonna be the goal, but it was a fantastic month in June. So I just want to continue with the progress that I'm making as we go into July. Half the year is gone, and I'm gonna dominate the rest of the year and hit some of my main goals, which is for the year. So just trying to accomplish these goals and trying to hit the 100K net worth. 20K invested, definitely made massive progress on that one. Try to get that 100K net worth. So we'll see. So peace out for next month.